I realized that I can go into a male-dominated field and
Mm.
know my finances and know my numbers, and I don't need someone to tell me what to how to do my finances. And that was kind of my motivation going into, because I saw Miss Magnuson as a really strong woman who is in charge of the finances for a public school, and I thought that was amazing.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Cooper, Assistant Superintendent of St. Louis Park Schools, and I am here with former Human Rights Committee appointed youth member, a person that currently attends San Diego State University, majoring in accounting, former St. Louis Park alumni, currently St. Louis Park alumni, and a lover of Starbucks, Alicia Margalli. Welcome.
Hi.
Uh, Thank you for joining us on the Park Pride podcast here. And we're going to take some time to get to know you. And once again, people can see all the great things and your experiences that you've had in St. Louis Park schools. So the first thing is let's start from the very beginning. So tell us about where you grew up and about your family.
Yeah, so I've lived in St. Louis Park my whole entire life. I've lived in the same home. I've had the same neighbors. And St. Louis Park has really just made me who I am. And my family is my mom is from northern Minnesota. She's from
Mhm.
Duluth. But she started her life with us in St. Louis Park. And my dad's from Mexico City. Um, and he came to Minnesota in his early 20s. And yeah, they started a family in St. Louis Park, and I have my little brother Andrew, who's currently a senior at St. Louis Park High School. So yeah, we've gone through St. Louis Park. We have a little Mexican restaurant as well in the community that's just maybe like a 2-minute walk away from the high school. It's right there.
Wow.
So yeah, my family's very much involved in St. Louis Park, and I love St. Louis Park, and I really feel like it's shaped me to who I am today. But yeah, it's a little bit about
Okay.
me.
So you've been in St. Louis Park schools your whole life, right?
Yes.
So what was the elementary school you went to?
Yeah, I attended Park Spanish Immersion. And yes, I attended there from kindergarten to fifth grade. And most of the teachers that I've had are still there, and they often come into my dad's restaurant or a family restaurant, and I get to catch up with them through there. So that's really nice to see. And then I also went to St. Louis Park Middle School, where my Miss Lashley actually now works at the high school. I heard
Yes.
over, yes. She
She's
came
the
in.
assistant principal.
She's the assistant principal. Yes, she was my, I believe, eighth grade English teacher. So yeah, and she had came into the restaurant over the summer, and I got to learn a little bit about that as well. So I had a great experience there. And then I went over to the high school, which was a block away from my house. So it was a great walk in the mornings. Oftentimes I did get picked up though. My dad wasn't happy about that. He was like, "You could just walk to school." um, but yeah, so I went to the high school, and I really got, I think, the most involved during my years there. Yeah, it's so I've been in St. Louis Park with my education my whole life. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back here a little bit. So tell me, what were some things that you remember about your experience going to school in St. Louis Park? Like
Mhm.
what were some moments and some educators that really made an impact on you?
Yeah, I would say that if we look back at my elementary school education, I would say that something that really stood out to me was the Life Folklorico. I know that might not be a program anymore at
It,
Park Spanish Immersion.
what is that program
Yeah,
about?
so the Life Folklorico was an opportunity for students to not only connect with Amities, but they were able to kind of connect culturally with Amities, because they would bring their home dances to us, and or not the costumes, but the attire that they would wear in these dances, and we would learn them. And we learned these at a young age, which not only led us to, like learn how to dance, but also know really how to connect with another culture. And I loved it. I did the dancing second to fifth grade, and I just showed my roommates my old videos of me dancing because it's on YouTube, so you can watch it whenever.
Okay,
But
YouTube, watch it.
yes,
All right.
YouTube. Maybe don't watch it. I don't. Not sure if everyone wants to see that, but yeah. So that was something that really stood out to me. I think that just I I feel like that experience was just amazing. I also loved that we were able to have those amities come in from different countries. So we really got to like get a whole world perspective. And I think that I benefited greatly from that. Also, my dad is from Mexico, so having people that were similar to him growing up to at a young age made me feel a little bit more like at home, and I think
Mhm.
while being at school, and I think that that was something that I really appreciated too. I think that every single one of my kindergarten or not kindergarten, elementary school teachers really like showed me how to not only like connect with others, but like made me feel at home and like family almost. I'm not sure if Senor Franco is still there, but he was one of my favorite teachers. Sorry, my ringer's going off.
That's all right.
But he was one of my favorite teachers at PSI, and I think that he was just a great instructor. I learned so much from him. Yeah, so that was in a nutshell.
What made Senor Franco so
Mhm.
special? Like what skills that you could say and make sure you put his name out in his face?
Yes.
What made him so special?
Yeah, I think that his just ability to like connect with students so well was what really stood out to me. I think that he kind of was like that a father figure in a sense. It's not father figure, but like he presented himself like kind of like wanting to take care of every student, and I think that that's what really stood out to him, like, he genuinely cared, not saying I
Mhm.
think every teacher cared, but I
Mhm.
felt like he was very, just very caring, and I think that he was just really involved in the students and making sure that, I was understanding what I was doing in certain subjects, especially, like, math, which for some reason I struggled back then, but now I'm gonna be an accountant, so
Right.
we've made improvements. But, yeah, so I think just how attentive he was to detail in that sense. Yeah.
Okay, so that was your elementary time. Enjoyed it. A part of
Oh,
it was a dance group.
it was a dance group, yes,
A
so Baile
dance group.
Folklorico, yeah.
Okay.
By Senora Maria. I'm not sure if I don't believe she's at PSI anymore, but she was the one that kind of led that. So yeah, just I've great community at PSI. I talk to most of the teachers that are still there. They come into the restaurant and I get to keep up with them. Miss Hoffman, Senora Hoffman, just like every single teacher there, I'm able to, still have that relationship with them. And she was my third grade teacher, amazing teacher too. I could name every single one. They're all so sweet. Yeah.
That's the power of an educator. I know for
Yeah.
me, I'm new to St. Louis Park public
Mhm.
schools, and I do feel the community not only just
Yeah.
in the schools but around the city. Um,
Yeah.
and feeling all that, it feels great. Like to be a part of a small city, you see different people
Right.
from here to there, and it feels like family.
Yeah,
So
it does. It really does. I feel like I could go up to any of them and just start talking to them about how their kids are doing. They ask how college is doing. It really just feels like a community and family. And I have to say, Senora Ruff too. I have to put in all my teachers. They're so
please
sweet.
do
I want
say
them to
their
hear
name.
it. They are the best. But yeah, it truly is a community, which I love. And then, their or sons and daughters are on like the high school soccer team. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was my or my fifth grade's teacher's son, like everyone's connected in that sense too, which is really nice.
So now let's go to high school, middle school, high school.
Yeah.
Tell me some memorable experiences during that time.
Yeah, I would say, sorry, I'm just fixing my audio here. Um, I would say that one of the most memorable, I think I enjoyed middle school, great teachers as well, but I think I started getting a lot more involved in high school, which I think I have a little bit more to talk about in that sense. My freshman year of high school, I saw a little thing on Schoology that said to sign up for, like a finance advisory committee, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do in my life, but I knew that business was something that I was really thinking of, not only because my family had just opened a restaurant, so I was kind of in that area surrounded by business all the time, but also I could see myself doing that in the future. So I joined this committee, and through there I met or Patricia Magnuson, and she kind of was my mentor through my whole college years, I would say. And I kind of started learning a little bit more about, especially public schools. I think I learned a lot about how a lot of people don't understand the moving works around a public school and especially the finance of it. So I learned a whole different perspective from that I think was really beneficial. Um,
Well,
And
let's also with that too. A couple of things
yeah,
is you said you were about to say Mrs. Magnuson. You were about to say
yes,
Miss Magnuson.
I was about to
And
say Miss Mid-Accent.
at to this day, if I see one of my teachers, I still
Yes.
call them Mr. and Missus.
I know, I do too. I'm like, I know that I'm not in high school anymore, but it feels weird.
But you're leaving a little part out from the story about you just going on Schoology, finding this
Yes.
committee.
Yes.
This was during the time of the pandemic, right?
This was during the time of the pandemic. Yes. So everything was online.
Right.
Yes.
And so you took the time to find this group, and you
Hmm.
already had a full schedule from what I know of.
Yes. There's always so much going on. Yes.
Yeah. One thing your dad told me is that
Hmm.
you're very, very busy.
Oh
You
goodness.
you you,
Yes.
you do a lot. So you took the
Yes.
time out, joined the finance committee,
Hmm.
advisory committee,
Hmm.
during the pandemic, and you would be meeting online and learning.
Right. Right. Yes. That was a really interesting experience. I definitely, you know, I think that learning it online was interesting as well. I think that the fact that I was able to kind of, put myself out there and be like, you know what, even though I have a million things going on, this is something that I'm really interested in. And not only is it something I'm interested in, but it also makes me a little bit more connected to the community because not only am I working with people that truly like are not in St. Louis Park, but care so much for St. Louis Park where we're trying to build it up at the best that we can make it. But also just being that student voice too is what I wanted to be in that committee. But yeah.
So when you got into the committee,
Mhm.
your first thought was marketing,
Yes, it was. Uh-huh.
but then you had a conversation.
I did.
Talk about that.
Okay, so yes, I went in going in as a marketing. I always, because I did the Instagram for my dad's restaurant, so I was like, you know what, I have that creative sense. Let me do that. Um, but I actually my junior year was offered an intern position, which was amazing for finance. So it was a different than marketing. Um, and I went in there kind of blind. I wasn't 100% sure if that was something I wanted to do, but like I had discussed previously, they kind of really delved into the finances of a public school. And I learned that it wasn't as much as just numbers and putting in Google spreadsheets as accounting is and finance can be, but it's also problem solving, which I really enjoyed. I think that being able to like see the finances that we get as a public school and how we get it and how we can find solutions to fix a problem with the money that we do have. And it's just a lot of problem solving, which I learned that I really enjoyed. And I had a conversation right before I was leaving here, San Diego State University. I went in as a marketing major here actually, but
Mhm.
right before I had came to San Diego State University, I had a conversation with Miss Magnuson. And I just flat out asked her, I was like, should I do marketing or should I do accounting for my end goal? And she had said that accounting is something that everyone needs. And as I go through college and mm, even just life, I realized that too, that like, you know what, that you're right. Everyone needs an accountant. Everyone needs someone to like check their finances. And the end goal, like, I realized that I can go into a male dominated field and
Mm.
know my finances and know my numbers. And I don't need someone to tell me what to how to do my finances. And that was kind of my motivation going into because I saw Miss Magnuson as a really strong woman who is in charge of the finances for a public school. And I thought that was amazing because I could see myself as a leader in that sense too. And she was my role model in that sense. So yeah.
You just said something once again how representation matters.
Mm-hmm.
To see another woman, like you said, just that empowerment said, hey, I can do this too.
Uh-huh.
And how that is,
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
that's absolutely amazing. She's gonna
Mm-hmm.
love that when she hears this. Uh,
She's amazing. I hope she does.
Now, let's go back a little bit, back to your dad's restaurant,
Yes.
okay? Mexico City
Mhm.
Cafe.
Mexico City Cafe. Amazing Mexican food. I
It
have
is.
to plug it
I
in.
had the cheese quesadillas,
Oh,
phenomenal. I've been
it's
there a couple of times.
good.
Um, so how it seems like that was a huge impact on
Hmm.
where you're at and on your life. Just tell a little bit more about that and like, do you remember your dad starting the business?
Yes. Oh my goodness. My dad, just like to begin with, my dad is truly like who I look up to, because the fact that he was able to do what he did is amazing. He at the start of it, we my family didn't really have much experience in the business world. So we kind of went in like a little blind. My dad was a server, so he's been working in like and he has his culinary experience, but like the business and finance of it was kind of, like going in blind. So it was really stressful at the start of it. I think that
Uh-huh.
especially being like 13 and working my first shift, I
Wow.
was like, what am I
13.
doing? Yes. Because we had to open the restaurant. I believe I was still in middle school, but I was 13. It was the summer before I turned 14. And, I just started working at 13. And honestly, I'm so grateful. I think at the moment I was really upset because I was like, none of my friends are working and I have to go work while they're at the football or whatever. So I think I was kind of upset about that. But I think now I'm in the place to be like, I'm so grateful because I don't think I would be able to not only interact as well as others or, hold a conversation or feel confident to just talk to someone. I think I'm really grateful for that, but also I think I'm now able to work in really like high stress situations, which also accounting kind of leads me to that. So, yeah, I think that it's taught me a lot, but not only that, it was such a community. Like, oh my goodness, during COVID, we had opened right before COVID or we started our business kind of around COVID.
Okay.
And the response from the community was amazing. We just were busy all the time, even when COVID, when we had to like run out food to like people in cars, like everyone was just so amazing and so sweet to want to support us during like a tough time. So I think not only the restaurant opening up really made me connect with St. Louis Park even more because now I have my teachers coming in to get a cup of coffee or try the enchiladas. And then I can connect with them in that sense. And my dad loves to do stuff for the high school too. We always do like fundraisers with the high school, or like we had one year, we did breakfast for the teachers in the morning and we just catered them. So
Oh,
yeah, so we love to connect with the community, and I think that not only that, the dad did that teach me how to be like a little bit more independent and work hard. My dad's always like work, 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 work. So I think I really got firsthand experience of working hard. I have a shift after this interview too. I'm always working, but I think it's taught me how important it is truly to work for your goals. And my dad was able to achieve that, and I hope I can achieve that as well in accounting. And ultimately give back to my father and give back to my community, obviously, because St. Louis Park has done so much for me. But yeah, so that's a little bit about my family restaurant.
I mean, once again, fantastic food. What is something you recommend I try when I go
Oh
back?
my goodness. Okay, oh my gosh, there's so much. Over the summer, I introduced my dad to California burrito because down here they have this California burrito and it's amazing. It has French fries and refried beans. So my dad just put that on the menu. You
I
have to
saw that on
try
the
that.
menu.
Really? Okay, yes, it is so good. We
He
just put
listens
it up
to
there.
you.
He does. I know. I don't know if it's because he misses me and he just wants like a reminder of me on the on the menu. That's how I like to think of it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm
Okay. So
kidding.
next time I go, I'm going to try the California burrito.
Yes, try the California burrito. It is amazing. I think that I always go for the enchiladas. I think that's what we're known for. The enchiladas are amazing. I get with like the salsa mole, which is what I grow that was what my dad would make me all the time when I was younger. And now it's on the menu and I have it every single time I come home. I am so sad because I'm not home until Thanksgiving, so I can't have my dad's home cooked meals. But um
Growing up, your
yeah,
dad was the cook and you would
yes.
eat pretty much what's on the menu. That was what you
Yes.
just had. So when you go back to Mexico City Cafe,
Mhm.
it's like home.
It's like home. It's truly like home. I Every single thing that's on that menu is what my dad had made growing up. So every single time I eat it, I just like have this almost nostalgia. And one of the things that's funny too is my dad used to make chile rellenos when I was younger. It's like the pepper with the stuffed poblano pepper with cheese, and I used to hate it. I did not like it at all. Like I would not even touch it. But now it's on the menu and I eat it all the time. It's one of my favorite things. So it's
You're
crazy how
making me
that,
so hungry. You're making me
right?
hungry right now.
It's
What?
so good, but everything's great there. It's really like it's truly like family tradition, home cooked meals. Like my abuela would make the coffee, like everything. It's it's amazing.
Now, you're talking about the pride that you have for St. Louis Park,
hmm
and you created something along with some help called Hometown in the City.
Yes.
Talk about Hometown in the City, that whole interview series about St. Louis Park.
Yes, oh my goodness, that was such a fun project. So like I had said, I went in junior year as a finance intern. So, we didn't really go in knowing we were gonna start a marketing campaign, but we went over those numbers, realized that we weren't holding as much retention as we would want in the community. So we decided to set out a campaign to really make St. Louis Park, or not make St. Louis Park, but truly retain those students to stay within St. Louis Park and not think about going to different school districts. And that's how we came up with Hometown in the City. I did it with Mishak as well, one of my co-interns. And that was such an amazing project. We started out like, just interviewing people in the community, which was, I think, amazing from like all different elementary schools, middle school, high school. And we kind of got to hear their stories on why they are choosing St. Louis Park as their public school. And it was the same things brought up every single time as the community. Everyone knows each other. You can say hi at the grocery store, and your kid might be in the same grade or the same class. So it was really nice being able to connect to my community in that way as well. And it was a project I was passionate about. It upset me that people didn't want to stay in St. Louis Park Public Schools because I grew up in St. Louis Park Public Schools, and I feel like I'm doing, amazing. And not only that, I have people at home that I can go see and connect with, and I have a great network as well to, if I ever need something, I know I can count on people that I've met in St. Louis Park. So, or through St. Louis Park Public Schools. So that was truly just something that I was passionate as well about, of making sure that we can keep as many residents wanting their children to go to St. Louis Park Public Schools. So through there, yeah, we interviewed students, we interviewed parents, and then we ended up creating that campaign, and it was just amazing. It was just like such a fun experience, and it was something I was passionate about too. So, yeah,
Community. It's the
community.
theme that is going throughout this whole podcast that you're
Hmm.
talking about right now. And I had a chance to watch the hometown
Oh,
in the
thank
city
you.
interview.
Yes.
It is phenomenal. So you can go
Oh,
on YouTube. Once again,
yes.
another shout out. YouTube Hometown in the City interview series. Now,
Mhm,
let's go back once again here. Here goes a little
mhm.
fun fact. I know something that you enjoy water parks.
I do. Didn't my dad tell you this? I do enjoy water
You you would go and find out all these different water parks and compare them.
I did, yes. I loved water parks. I love anything thrill. Amusement parks, like, anything that will make my stomach drop.
Your dad also talked about you being fearless and brave.
Aw, he's so sweet. Aw.
So being fearless and brave, that there was a time on the soccer, you played soccer,
Mhm, I did play soccer. Oh my gosh, I love
that
soccer.
that you would stick up for your teammates. So you would
Aw.
be the first one that he said you get spicy, blood boils. Nothing wrong with that. So I thought that that fits right in who you are.
Mhm.
You are
Oh,
committed
yeah.
to diversity, equity, inclusion,
Yes,
being fearless,
all the
brave.
time. Mhm.
Um, Talk about how you was a former member of the Human Rights Committee and you got appointed.
Yes.
So talk about
That
that.
yes. So initially, before that, I was also part of SOAR at St. Louis Park, which is Students Organized for Anti-Racism. And at that time, I have to shout out Dr. Stevens as well because she is just so amazing, and
Mhm.
I still catch up with her. But I went through that experience my junior year, and it was just so amazing because I had always been committed to, um, just human rights and diversity and inclusion. My dad's Mexican, I'm Mexican. I want to make sure that everyone has the same opportunities in life, and it really upsets me when that's not the case. So I went through SOAR, and that was amazing organization just to connect with my peers about current situations going on. And then after that, learned about this opportunity through Dr. Stevens to be appointed to the Human Rights Council in St. Louis, or Commission in St. Louis Park, and I went ahead and applied for it. And I ended up getting appointed for the position, and that was just a great experience as well. I was able to not only be connected within St. Louis Park Public Schools, but now I was connected with people in St. Louis Park who really were pushing to make sure that everyone felt included. And I felt
Mhm.
like I could not only be a voice for students in St. Louis Park, but I also could be the voice for, Hispanics and Latino women, just women in general. So through that experience, we really connected. We had a book banning event where we had one of
That's
a
awesome.
lot of, I know, city members come in, and they read books that were banned to children, and that was one of my favorite events. And then not only that, we had, our daily meeting or monthly meetings where we discussed what had been going on in the city and how we can improve and make others feel included. We often talked to, like the police officers too in St. Louis Park. So it's just a lot of conversations that we had with each other to make sure that St. Louis Park was as inclusive. And yeah, it's just something again that I was really passionate about.
I hope you realize how much you have accomplished and what
Oh.
you've done in St. Louis Park by being a part of the Finance Advisory Committee,
Oh my
through that
goodness.
by creating the hometown city interviews,
Mhm.
the Human Rights Committee appointed member, SOAR. That is
Oh.
a lot of things that you have done,
Thank you.
especially helping your dad with the
Hmm.
business. That is has a home here in St. Louis Park. I mean, everybody talks about
Oh
it.
my goodness. That makes me so happy. He's worked so hard for that. That makes me really happy.
So, as an alum, right
Hmm.
now, talk about where you're at right now and
Yeah.
how is it going?
It's going amazing. I'm not a day I'm not busy. I continue that streak over here.
What's over here?
Oh
San
my goodness.
Diego.
San Diego State University,
Okay.
and I'm majoring in accounting. I'm currently a sophomore. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind of just meeting so many different people. I think that's one of my favorite things about being so far away is not only I know I have people for sure at home, but now I get to create a whole new community here as well, which has been so fun. I'm part of Alpha Phi here, which is a sorority on campus, and I'm also part of Delta Sigma Pi, which is a business fraternity on campus. So I keep busy with those extracurriculars, and then I haven't told Miss Magnuson about this yet, but I also just joined the finance advisory committee here for San Diego State University. So I get to see all where we're spending money here, which has been a really cool experience. And I just toured the Viejas Arena, which is also really cool. I got to see all the basketball players, locker rooms, and stuff like that.
Well,
So
guess what? You just told her. Okay.
yeah, I know. Well, now she knows. No, we had been because during the finance advisory committee at the high school, we had toured some of the high school before it gotten like remodeled, and that was the coolest thing ever. I thought that was so fun. And now here I'm touring like the arena and stuff, and it was like parallels. I'm like, this is so cool. Um, but yeah, so I just joined that. I'm part of like the honors Weber's College here, as well as the Fowler Business School. Trying to think if anything. Oh goodness, I even talking about this is stressing me out. It's doing something.
Don't
I
stress
have.
out. I don't know how it's amazing all the things that you do. It is
Oh my
absolutely
goodness.
amazing. So, looking back at yourself going through St. Louis Park schools, what is one thing you would tell your younger self? What word of advice?
Yes. I would say a word of advice. I think I'm still like not dealing, but figuring this out as I get older as well, is I think that I want to tell my younger self to be confident. I think that confidence truly is key in life. And I think that I'm definitely building up to be the most confident that I can be. And I would tell her to continue with confidence. And I think I would also just tell her that, you know, everything happens for a reason. I think that I'm extremely grateful for the education that I received at St. Louis Park Public Schools and the people that I met through St. Louis Park Public Schools because I'm still connected with all of them in the community that has given so much to me and my family. And yeah, I just tell her that everything happens for a reason. And now I'm here pursuing something that I really want to do in my future and in a great climate. I can
Mm.
love the warm weather. So
Wonderful. As I said before, I'm jealous. You're in the wonderful San Diego sun and the weather.
yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So, one of the things that we do here in St. Louis Park is we have our portrait of a learner. And
Mhm.
we want all of our students, when they leave St. Louis Park, that they ascend into fulfilling their greatness. So when you
Mhm.
think about that, what is one way you can see our current students that you
Mhm.
look back and say, what is one thing that St. Louis Park could do to make sure our current students
Mhm.
ascend into their greatness?
Into their greatness. Ah, I would say I think what St. Louis Park is doing right now is amazing. The public schools, I think that they're continuing on with their community, and I would say the only thing that really they can do is just make sure that community never fades. I think that's really what holds St. Louis Park Public Schools together because, in my experience, everyone knows each other, and that has made me realize how much I miss going home as well. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, just continue with the community, continue making sure that everyone feels included in St. Louis Park.
Well, you have done such a phenomenal job. I want to thank you for this time to have a chance to interview you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
I hope you realize, really truly realize, of all the things that you've done and the impact that you've made in St. Louis Park schools,
mm-hmm.
from once again, the hometown in the city interviews, joining the finance advisory committee, to being appointed to the human rights committee,
Oh,
SOAR. And you are continuing to make St. Louis Park proud, but not only making St. Louis Park proud, but also your family.
oh
And I
my
saw
goodness.
that in your dad. Your dad was so
Oh.
proud to sit
You're making me
down
tear up. I haven't
and
seen him in so
I tell
long.
you, he was so excited to talk to me
Oh,
and talk about you. He's so proud of you.
oh,
He can't wait to see you when you come back home and get a chance. And he's just he I
oh
mean like
my
I mean
goodness.
he shared about your love for birthday parties, your
No.
love for water parties, all
Did
those
have a
different
birthday
things.
party here.
But he is definitely proud of you, and we are proud of
Oh,
you too of all the things that you are accomplishing. So
oh my
hopefully, I know
goodness.
you will continue to soar in all the things that you do, all the things you do, and ascend into your greatness.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. I would could talk about St. Louis Park for years.
Well, you will continue,
But
continue,
I really
and
truly appreciate it.
yes, and thank you so much. And remember, continue to ascend.
Oh, thank you.